see this fine kitty. They make her follow, I'm really. That's who she do. Use me, really. One, two.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Clustered Nuts. It's so good to see you guys again. It's been a while, I know, but we're excited to start another episode, another season. So
another episode.
The plan for this episode is just let it flow. That's my plan. Let it flow. Let just conversation happen, because the essence of Clustered Nuts is just having a conversation and, like, you know, different people's point of view. My point of view, which is different from Toby's or Michael's point of view, and just having a conversation that flows. So today we're kind of looking at self-love. You know, what's the meaning of self-love? Do you guys, like, what's your definition of self-love? How do you feel about self-love and the social media, like, the way self-love is being in my own mind, the way self-love is like self-love or nothing. Even though the self-love may not be loving you, but you gotta do it.
So sometimes I even hear people talk about self-love, and sometimes they don't really necessarily love themselves, or they don't necessarily portray it, but it's just about saying it. Like, this is what everyone is saying. Let me also say that. So
it's the same thing as manifestation for me. You know, it's the new thing. After self-love, manifestation became a big thing.
I didn't hear about that.
Manifestation, you look into the mirror every day and say the things you want in your life. I am great. I am going to make money today. I am going to do. You've heard about manifestation.
Of course, confession. I know about people confessing and saying some confessions, but
no,
I didn't see it as manifestation.
No. There's
but
this.
It wasn't like something viral that
manifestation is viral right now.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I think I've heard. I've seen it on Instagram manifest when they say manifest things into your life. That's the
was in another word then.
That's the context.
I feel like it's the new. It's more of a.
Is this still new or?
It's somewhat new,
because
but
like this self-love
very
to trended at some point, but it's not like a
Exactly.
major thing at the moment.
And you know, sometimes some things trend on TikTok when it's trending on TikTok, but it's not on Instagram, or it's trending on Instagram.
Have you eventually opened a TikTok account?
I don't need to yet.
Oh, okay, but there might be a need for one.
Oh yes, because I may need to run ads for a client, so yeah, kind of have to get familiar with the platform. Apart from that, I don't feel the need to.
Though it's all about personal reasons, anyways, from my own opinion. If you have some things you're doing on it, so
I don't plan on dancing on anything.
is it only dance that happens on TikTok?
I saw a video where it says, like, I'm going to market my business, but you cannot see me dance. Because that's what they do social media for their business, but you are not going to see me.
Because some people also do other things. But
really?
yes, now on TikTok you see some people post maybe
different kind of
talks
posts,
and
not
everything.
not just dancing.
But wait,
now.
is anything wrong with me dancing in a way to project my business in a way? Because I think there was a time
they are dancing
Sharon
based
came
on
with
trend. No, it's not.
Sharon came with some ideas then that we did.
The whole idea of TikTok, to the best of my knowledge, is just dance. It's like OnlyFans. The whole idea is
No. TikTok is bigger than just dancing. There are so many other contents on it.
OnlyFans. There are also so many other contents.
So it's just like saying that Instagram too is meant to post pictures and videos, but people now chat on it.
Yeah,
and people find
that
it
doesn't
easy.
take away from what the bigger market share is, which is every platform has what is.
So now, if I'm saying that I'm going against the usual use of this platform, let's say for instance, now I know TikTok to be a dancing app or something like that, and I decide that I'm not going there to dance. Is there anything wrong?
No, TikTok is literally
the chances of you blowing up and growing.
but TikTok is not a dance. It's not generally known for dancing at all.
Oh,
it's
really?
a social media app. It's like Instagram.
It's
social media. It's Instagram.
Social media, but every platform is known for what makes them virality.
But you cannot say Instagram is known for just what reels or anything.
Reels,
Instagram has a lot of other things.
Yeah, it has. Well,
TikTok has so many. Like if you go through TikTok, like if for me, like it depends on what your feed looks like. My own feed is not filled with dance because it's all this like
skits.
17,
I know that there are
18
skits and all
skits
that.
there. There are like even a lot of business contents there, like how to do small business. There are so many. It's different. It's content. That's what TikTok is. Not dance. It's content.
But basically,
and different
I
kind of content.
I think it's because of when it started.
OnlyFans is not also only known for nudity.
I know, but then TikTok is not just dance. OnlyFans is known for nudity, but TikTok is
when
not
TikTok
just dance.
went viral was in 2012 2020
the
thereabout
dance.
during
That's where it
COVID,
went
and
viral
everyone was
for.
indoors, and then they find the need
So
to
if
just
you, were
use.
to, if you were to plot a graph of things that trend on TikTok, it would mostly be dance trends. That
And
top
of
the
course,
charts.
maybe some skits and
The
you
other
showing
things
yourself.
that are there.
If you
Yeah,
plot a
more,
graph,
more of dance.
dance. Like if you were to categorize
Yeah.
things, it would fall into dance.
Though, based on my knowledge, because I'm
Based on
not
your knowledge.
because I'm not
Someone
on
that's not on,
TikTok.
someone that's not on
Exactly.
TikTok. Another one is not on TikTok. That is okay.
Talking about
was on it and I've left
talking
it.
about TikTok
Okay.
with so much
I
passion
necessarily don't need to be on it.
to have an idea of what's going on there.
But you need to be on it to actually do have an idea on it sometimes. Like
Nope.
you can't base your business just on what you assume.
You don't.
Actually, it might be more than just what you think, because I've heard someone talk badly of Instagram, like, what did they do there? But some people are actually doing well on Instagram.
No,
and
but we are
like,
talking about
The
what
content.
the platform is
And
majorly known for.
Known for, yeah.
It's that's why I'm using OnlyFans, because OnlyFans is majorly known for nudity.
Just like
And I can say
Twitter,
TikTok
too, you know,
is
like
not.
it's more of micro blogging.
Yeah, so OnlyFans is
TikTok is
majorly
a
known
social
for nudity.
media
But are they
stuff.
fitness trainers
So
on
anything.
OnlyFans? Yes. Are they other contents on OnlyFans? Yes.
Exactly.
But
So
there's-
you expect to see more of
I
that.
Yeah.
still say that TikTok is not just dance.
Of course, you're
Argue with your
entitled to
pillow. I
your...
will argue with my own pillow too. TikTok is not just dance.
Yeah, entitled to
It's not
your opinion,
majorly
so-
just dance. It's not. It was. It
No,
got
if we
viral
are
because
talking
of
about
dance.
majorly something,
it
then
got viral
maybe
because
you are
of
not.
dance. That's
I might
when
not
it
accept
was-
that.
the question
It's
is, what do you
majorly
mean by
known
majorly?
for something. It might have other features, other things they do on it, but
We're not saying
majorly.
it's only dance, but what it's mainly known
People
for
that are not on
is-
TikTok know TikTok for that, but people that are on TikTok know TikTok for so many
So
other
many
things.
things. Okay, if you're a TikTok lover, I want to know what you know TikTok.
If I-
Honestly, am I the wrong one here? Because
if I ask you to mention the top, for 2023 so far, the top trending things on TikTok, you would mention dances. You wouldn't mention a conversation or
there's so many. There's book talk. You know, there's book talk, like which is the book side of TikTok. There is
he's
modesty
not saying-
talk.
we-
There's fashion talk. Like
we're not saying
they
that
have
they are
so
not
many.
all
All
But
I
then
dance.
there's
said.
also dance talk. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That
So
there's
which one
also
is
dance.
actually very viral? That
Fashion
goes
is a
viral.
big ass thing in TikTok.
In
oh.
TikTok?
When you see the different transitions,
But-
transition is a thing.
But I
in
hardly
TikTok.
see that on Instagram, because usually when
Talking
you
about
see
what you see on Instagram from TikTok.
Wait, because it's viral now. When a dance goes viral on TikTok, they bring it to
I
Instagram
barely see
because
any
it's
dance
viral.
stuff anymore. Like I barely see dancing.
Yeah, it's actually going to extinction, and I feel even TikTok generally, people
That's
don't.
what I'm saying.
I might be
It
wrong
was
on this, but
first
I
known-
feel people don't use TikTok the way they used to.
It was
earlier
first
then,
known
so-
as dance. That's what I was trying to say. That was what it went viral for because of how people dance and all that. But right now, it's not like that at all. So you can't
No.
say it's majorly dance.
But that doesn't mean it's. But I think we are just leaving up the major topic, because I think Facebook also now is known for live videos, is known for reels and
they
all
other
that.
content?
But they have other things that they are doing now. That's what I'm saying. But usually
But it's
before
majorly
now,
known for something.
Facebook wasn't known for lives before now.
Yeah.
Facebook wasn't known for reels.
Lives
It's
is a
more
new
of
thing
just
that came
having
forward.
friends, and so it's more of now when you see Facebook evolving, you see other things on it. So
Let me simplify it. Toyota is known for what? When
Making-
you own it, for reliability.
and of course,
Is it comfortable? Yes. But what is it majorly known
they know
for?
that they are very strong. And all
You just know
that.
it's a car that is
They
reliable.
can, yeah. So
If I am
But-
the only girl with a different opinion, so
Now, do you need to have a Toyota to know the message of what Toyota is known for, or what the Corolla brand is majorly known for? No. Just speaking
exactly.
to people.
You
they'll
have
tell
an
you,
idea.
My
And-
Corolla. yeah.
Of course, when you see Ferrari, you have an idea of what it's.
This
A
When you see
Tesla, you
Tesla,
have an
this car
idea.
we have
comes
an
with-
idea.
Even despite the fact that I do not
You
drive,
don't, but you- yeah,
so you have an idea of that. But going back to the
self love. Sorry, this is what I mean. We're going with the flow at this point.
self love. So looking at self love naturally, what would you think is self love?
Loving yourself, not just. I feel like a lot of us, like, you know, doing a particular thing, traveling. A lot of people like, oh, when they travel, that's them giving themselves love or
Now,
stuff like that.
I've-
That's a lot of people's like, okay, you know, I want to love myself. I need to give myself a break. So I'm going to actually travel. I'm going to do the things. That's self. For some people, is getting all the skincare product they want to get and making sure that they feel like, you know, when you have that skincare time, that self-love time, that's how some people is different.
But based on what you said, I'm looking at it from two different angles, and I think the first one about self-love, just based on what you said, is sometimes is it not toxic? Because sometimes you want to shut everyone out, and you feel like it's all about me, and let me just love myself at this moment. And just like I said earlier, another point is sometimes it's more of this is what people are saying, so let me also say it without necessarily showing any self-love. And also another one is sometimes you harm yourself in the name of self-love.
Yeah, wasting money.
Let me say that's
For
another point.
skincare.
You're not even thinking of the future planning, and let me just show myself a lot of love. Sometimes you feel like, let me take myself out and eat all garbage that I could eat. And sometimes you have to watch your diet and everything like that. So I'm just using those ones as examples. It might not necessarily be those.
Wait, I feel like the concept of it is that you give yourself every day you're struggling, you're in reality, you're working hard, you're doing this. So it's just a few moments, it's not an everyday thing. It's not a thing that occurs frequently. So it's that time when it occurs that it's like, oh, self-love, I'm actually loving myself. Because yes, on a regular day, you are not eating the junks. You are not buying all the things you want to buy on a regular day. But then you're not like, what? I deserve this. After all this, I deserve once in a while to actually, give myself something, just not just run the rat race, but actually do something. So I feel like that's kind of how I'm looking at it, like the self-love. It's not a frequent thing that we do, but just like, the day has been hard. Like, I've gone to work, I've done all these things, I've sacrificed so many things. I think I owe it to myself to actually, take a step back and be selfish once in a while.
That makes a lot of sense. These days I've heard people, especially when it was trending, make it like a conscious effort to be a daily thing. Like putting it all.
Well,
like,
you're struggling daily.
I love myself irrespective of what someone is saying, and I don't care about what you feel. This is just me. I want to enjoy my life.
That's a different thing. That's not self-love. But that one is the journey of when people start. I have very when people start cutting people off or for random things without ever having conversations with things like, feeling like I can live by myself. I just need I and myself to survive. That's a different conversation, but
that's also interesting in a way, because I'm worried too.
So the problem is because of you live in an age where definitions don't matter anymore. Everyone coins that definition, and you just have to go with that definition. Like you said, someone's own definition of self-love is cutting everyone off. That's their definition. They may choose to do it every day. She is saying once in a while. But now there is no definition, or there is nothing accepted. So a controversial opinion. I hate definitions based off on feelings. When definitions are based off of feelings, then there is no definition, because definition comes depending on how the person is feeling at that time. Tomorrow, if the person is feeling, or if the group of people are feeling differently, there is a new definition to what they just gave a definition for yesterday to back up the feeling of today. So,
but naturally, self-love is more of just loving yourself. But now, just looking at those words, so of course you now translate it to what it means to you most times, which I feel. But now, if I think that some people are not actually helping my life, is there anything wrong in making conscious effort? Just like what you mentioned, like I take myself out maybe once in a while and just lavish money on myself instead of always spending on people, always, and doing all that. So are there no moments whereby I feel some people are very toxic to me, or maybe not so toxic, maybe they are not just beneficial to me? Is it wrong for me to just cut people off all in the name of self-love, just like Michael is doing to me now?
I'm not of the opinion of that, because we cannot live in this life, me, myself, and I. One can survive.
See the person saying that.
Why? What did I do?
See the person saying that she's not of the opinion of that too.
What did I
you
do?
know
I
what
don't
you
cut
do?
people off my life. For I actually don't cut. The thing is that me, I'm out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see you, you're not in my mind. It's just I have like I'm out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see you, if I like, I have to make a conscious effort. Like if I go on Instagram and I see, oh shit, let me see that I saw that person randomly on Instagram. That's when I remember the person. I try to message the person immediately because I don't remember. But then if you're going to be like, oh, God, this girl has not messaged me in like 5 years, in like not 5 years, but this girl, she has never messaged me. She has not done anything. I'm done with that. I cannot do anything about it. But then if you're going to cut me off based on that, sure, do your own thing. But I still don't think it's wrong because I don't have any beef with the person. I would like see. I have friends that we already understand each other. I can see you. I cannot talk to you for 1 month, and then I'll randomly call you, and we talk for hours. Because we talk for hours. But then there are times where like literally some things like my life is just like I'm focused on one thing or the other that my brain cannot the capacity of my brain cannot occupy any other person. That is what I see, what is in front of me that I do. So I'm not cutting people off.
Okay.
But when people now cut me off based on the fact of that, it's not as if I did anything necessarily wrong. But to them, I did something wrong, so they are cutting me out of them. But then, see,
So
people,
when someone cuts you off, and this is actually a question that has been coming to mind. I used to have a friend. Like, there was a day we were going that I said we should stop by at his house. Like, we were close. He just came around and we became close and all that. And the way he cut the whole thing off, it wasn't like, it would have been a different case if you had done something wrong. And you're so sure that, this is what I did wrong, and you're even trying to apologize. Mm-hmm. But you even have no idea of what you have actually done wrong. And you trying to reach out, the person is not even giving attention. What do you need to do in situations like that? Is it not more of like, okay, this person doesn't necessarily want me in his life, and move on without even any attachment or you feeling somehow?
I understand that feeling because you didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but sometimes you just got to accept it, and because to me it's that person's lost at the end of the day, because you are the one that decided to cut off the person. Like you don't know, like that is that person's loss at the end of the day. Because me, I have no issue with you, but you have an issue with me. Instead of you to come and talk to me about it, okay, let's look at what's going on, or let's even reach an understanding or something like that. You decide to cut someone off. The person that you cut off, you don't know what the person can do for you in the future.
So is it
you
like
don't
you're
necessarily
trying
keep
to
the person close
because of the future? Are you trying to keep the person because of the future? Because when you said it's the person's loss, I doubt it. Because if it's the person's loss, then you should have noticed that I lost something. The reason why you are living you're living the relationship or the friendship and you do not even care about it is because you no longer need it. So it's not a loss in its way.
I don't think you no longer need it.
In fact, if we are to look at the loss, it's on the other side of someone still holding to it. Because if you lose anything that is not valuable, you don't think about it. You don't say, oh, I've lost. You don't even talk about it. Just like, let's say, box of matches. That's just what came to mind. Box of matches, if you lose it, you don't say, this is my loss, because you don't count it so valuable to see it as a loss.
Your value metrics are different.
Exactly. So now the person that still holds on to it is actually, I feel it's more of a loss for the other person than the person that says, I'm done with this friendship. Maybe in the future it might now be a loss eventually if it achieves something. But should we hold on to friendship believing that maybe in future it might actually yield some results?
That should not be a reason, but it should not be a reason to just cut people off. Like, I'm not saying, see, as I said, my opinion is you cannot live life alone. It might not be today, it might not be anything like that, but if you are continuously just cutting people off in your life, like, this person is not being what you want, expecting what that person to be, when the person can like literally just be fighting a devil of his own or something like that, but because the person does not fit into the box of what your friendship should be, right? So you cut the person off, even though like it's I don't know how to explain it.
So does it mean like we should not care about the people around us? Because now someone is coming in to be my friend, and then maybe it's not like the person doesn't necessarily fit into the standard of the kind of people I just want in my circle. And the reason why I'm using the kind of people I want in my circle is not necessarily to downplay some set of people. It's just like, okay, maybe I'm in this space of time that I need to gym more. I need to keep fit. And the set of people around me, I want them to be those set of people that go to the gym. So in this case, it's not even looking down on anyone. Do you understand? So it's just like, this is what I want to achieve at this moment. So if I'm trying that, okay, someone that is not his priority is trying to come around, is there anything wrong in trying to keep some distance at that point?
Everyone is the actor in their own story, so it's easy for people to say you're cutting people off, or for people to say this because everyone is the actor in their own story, right? So it's the reason why I'm always of the opinion of listening to two sides of a story, because no one tells a story and is the bad guy. The bad guy is the actor in his own story. So that's to say, like, people have expectations of friendship. Friendships are built on expectations. If people are not meeting your expectations and the vibe is not there and the energy is not what you expect, it's fine to move on. That's the world you live in. It's brutal, but that's...
But now, when you're moving on, do you necessarily have to burn the bridge? Just like Dara mentioned earlier. She talked about...
Some bridges have to be burnt, some can be kept. It
Why
depends.
do bridges have to be burnt?
It depends.
just like the question, why do bridges...
Why do you
can't
necessarily
see-
have to burn something for you to move on?
Because sometimes some bridges have to be burnt. It's like, why do you have to burn some relationships? If the relationship is not what you expect, and you feel there is nothing that can come out of it, you burn it and you move on. Like,
The burning...
Why-
Okay.
So what?
Because this burning that you're talking about, now, if a relationship is not working as expected for me, there's a way I can reduce the rate at which we talk to the point whereby we are still cool.
People burn bridges because they don't want to fake shit. If
No,
I'm being honest.
in this situation,
People don't- yeah, but that's it.
I'm not
People-
faking anything.
Yeah, but that's you. You are being polite about it. Some people don't have the time to be polite about the bridge, so they just burn it and move on. It's nothing.
But don't you think the bridge might actually be useful eventually?
What makes you think? So the idea you're portraying is you assume that relationship would be useful in the long run. What if that never comes to fruition? What if it never?
There's something
but
being
it's-
polite. It's, just out of politeness.
It's a 50-50
You-
chance.
I feel like out
But
of
you
politeness,
lose more
you don't-
if
What makes you
the...
think you lose more?
Because-
what
Because there are actually some things you could have achieved just based on that
what's the
relationship.
guarantee?
The guarantee is actually very low. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So that's
because
the
it
point.
depends on the person. But,
Yeah,
of
but-
course, there is still a chance, irrespective of how low or how high the
So
chance
what-
is.
the person is taking a bet on a higher chance than a lower chance.
How is it a higher chance? Why do you need to
the person
burn
is
it?
putting that energy into other relationships?
No, that's
that
what
have
I'm
a
saying.
higher
Like, I'm not
chance.
saying like you should keep the energy.
So if someone had a relationship with 5 people, and the relationship with this one would yield a 80% success, 70, 60,
How can you
50,
even
and
tell
10?
what a relationship will
We
yield
yield
just
in
from
the
seeing it?
future, exactly.
Like, how can you just say, oh, you know
No,
what,
but you
this one is
don't-
going to yield something? You don't know.
Yeah, it's over
See,
time.
my own
It's
is
over
that
time
out of
you
polite, you
relate
don't
with
have to
people and-
necessarily be friends per se, like have the same energy, but you don't necessarily also have to cut it off dry. That would mean I'm just out of the opinion. Like, you don't have to keep the same energy and be friends and kinikon. You don't
That's
necessarily
what
have
I'm
to do
saying.
that.
Like,
But
at
out
some
of,
point, like
just-
you've reduced it to
you can
minimal
reduce it, but
point,
don't
whereby
cut
when
it.
you see you guys are still cool, like
Yes, still
you talk
cool,
about things,
but you understand that you guys are
you
not
are not-
sharing
Yes.
the same opinion.
Yeah.
Sure, but
because
don't,
there are friends like that we were on a very great level at some point, but now we don't talk
People drift
regularly, but
about,
we are
people have
still
different opinions.
like we are still
Yeah.
cool.
Exactly. What's the problem with being cool?
It's different strokes for different folks, right? So for some people, they don't want to beat about the bush with things. They just cut it off and move on. For some people,
Is
they want
that
to be
right, though?
They want to be casual about things. Right and wrong is subjective. that's subjective. like
We've started the
you
reality versus what's it called?
you can't tell someone about how the person handles relations because you're not the one wearing the shoes, seeing the angle and seeing what's going on.
Well,
For
me,
you
I'm of
to-
the opinion of
for you
it is
to-
not right to cut
for you
people off.
to say the person can't cut a relationship.
Now, but I think we've had this particular conversation before, but not everyone would definitely be beneficial to you. So if a relationship is not so beneficial to you, is the right thing to do is just cut them off?
So if the relationship at so far you've
yeah,
gone
exactly.
to a certain point, like you've put the person somewhere, right? What are the chances?
I'm not even saying putting the person somewhere, just cutting it off, like
when you
forgetting.
say,
Deleting, blocking.
When you feel like, no, this person is not going anywhere, is not useful to me. And of course, one of the beauty of humanity is that at least you've gotten to a particular stage in life with the help of people, if you want to accept it
Or not.
or
Yeah,
not.
sure.
You need help
So
of people.
when you see some people also coming up and you feel like, I might not invest fully in this person, but maybe an idea from me might actually help the person. So, and maybe I'm not really
So-
getting a lot from this relationship. So, can I say that, okay, since I'm not getting anything from this relationship, and I know, and that is where sometimes this mentor-mentee relationship comes
Yeah.
in. I know that this person might not necessarily be useful to me.
Yeah.
So, do I necessarily cut off everyone that I don't think you will be beneficial to me? I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting.
Like I say, as you
it
said.
depends on what your principles and views are, right? It boils down to what you view and how you have gotten to where you have gotten. So if you feel it's not, if you've weighed the odds, right, and you are willing to bet on yourself, that I'm someone, I personally am someone, if I don't fuck with you, no matter how hard it is, there's no way I'll fuck with you. That's just me, right? For some people, they're like, they want to keep you, and maybe a time comes and stuff. Yeah, different things work for different people, but they are taking those decisions based on, they are the one wearing the shoe. They have weighed the odds, and this is how they want to see it. So I can't tell someone for burning a bridge not to burn a bridge. Some bridges have to be burnt. It's the reality. Some bridges have to be burnt. Some can be put on hold, right? And some works, right? So for some people, they don't want to invest. They don't want to invest on the hopes that they need that bridges. It's for some people that's motivation for them, like cutting off the bridges, burning the bridge, and betting on themselves. That's so it boils down to motivation for them, right? That's their own motivation. Is maybe they try to connect with this person and it didn't go as well, and it's fine. Like they let it go. They cut it off and they move on. So I would categorically say there is nothing wrong with burning bridges and cutting people off, or because different relationships require different tactics and execution, right? So having a blanket execution, like you don't burn bridges, that even if you can't even say you've not burned bridges, right? There are people, there are friends you've had that you just say hi to, right? That's fine.
That's not
You
burning
haven't-
bridges.
Exactly. You haven't burned.
Yeah,
That's not
and there are
burning
some
bridges,
people, and there are some people that they've had a misunderstanding with someone, and they
And
block
then you burn it.
and they burn it. They block the person
I understand
on
that.
everything and everything on every. They basically stop accessibility, right?
Because
to-
the person has done something wrong that
to
you cannot
this
move
thing.
on from.
So-
That makes sense.
In
It-
fact,
it just
if
boils
the
down
person
to-
hasn't done anything wrong, like you just feel like maybe you no longer need this person in your life.
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
what.
Exactly.
That's why I'm
That's
now
fine.
of like, just because you don't feel like you don't no longer, then you literally block everything. That's where I'm like, it's iffy for me. It's like, that's where I get what you're saying, sure, but I still like that one is where
But do you
if
need
someone
to
has
feel bad
officially
doing
done.
Feel bad about what?
No.
cutting people off?
No.
or-
No, if the person cut the person off, the person should not feel bad, because that's what's going to annoy me. Why are you feeling bad when you are the one that did the work you did?
Because sometimes some people do it
Based
In
on
a-
what?
Yeah,
Why?
So
in a smart way. They want to. I just don't have a choice than to get rid of this person.
they're
and
just trying.
Then that
they're
means
just
the person
trying to
did
be
something
polite.
bad. If-
Sometimes they're just trying to be polite about it. but-
That means if someone cuts you off, like if you cut you off and it's like you're trying to be polite about it, but because someone did something wrong and you feel bad, but she hurt you in a bad way or something like that, and you're trying to be polite, but you want to cut the person off and don't feel guilty. But then the one where nothing happens, or not necessarily because the person is not useful, or like, maybe you guys are not even in the same stage in life anymore or something like that, you cut the person off, then for me, that's why I say no. To me, don't. But then if you do cut the person off,
I'm
don't
someone
feel
that
bad.
I have like 60 contacts
Don't
on
feel
my phone,
bad.
so
Hey, I'm always surprised you don't have a lot of people in your space.
yeah.
So, because I feel like, don't you think that, or maybe it's the quality of the set of people, because I don't think sometimes it's all about the numbers, because what I'm just thinking is, don't you think that some of these people would definitely be useful at some point? Because
That's the risk you're betting on.
As long as you know it's risk, if you are just going to,
Life
then that's
in
it.
itself is a risk.
Yeah,
It's
so,
all a bunch of calculated risks.
Because
If
there have
you-
been
if that was
situations
your
whereby I
thing.
needed something and I reached out to someone, and because we are still cool, the person was able to help out.
Yes, that's the thing. You can't live
thing.
life alone. You
No,
cannot,
right,
one
so-
way or the other, people are helping you. But if you said the person is not more useful and you cut the person off, then okay, let's say the person is not more in the stage of, you guys are not in the same stage. Let's say you guys were in high school together or something, like you were very close, but then you guys have moved on, or one is in one university, another one is in one university, or one finished early, another one finished early. But because I'm already working and you are still in uni, I'm done with you, I'm moving on with my life.
I don't
What
think,
if that person becomes something like you
I
can't
don't
cut
think
off based on
there's- I
that?
don't think
John.
there's anybody that blocks people based on that reason.
Okay.
Have you,
I-
have you met anyone
That's
that
what me
does
I'm
that?
talking about
I
by
think-
cutting
I
people
think-
off
I think-
uselessly.
I think
That's what me I'm
that's-
talking
wait,
about.
I think it
cutting
is.
people
I think
off
it is
uselessly.
possible.
No,
Hey.
But situations like that,
not.
no,
What,
no
what,
one.
what you are insinuating
no
is
one would-
people just lose contact. It's
No,
as simple as
situations like that, no one would accept that this is the reason why I'm doing this. People just accept that, okay, I've actually moved past this stage,
that. Yeah.
and I do not want to be burdened by what this person is going through.
Yeah.
And then they move on. But
Yeah.
in a
So
way,
that's a reason.
but
but that's
that's
a
what I'm
reason.
saying. But in a way, it was because of all the things that played out.
Yeah, but that's a reason.
But it was actually because of just
The
what
reason
she
is
explained.
because they are not more in the same stage. in
Exactly.
life.
Yeah, because in different stages you need different people in your life.
But you
It's
don't
the
cut
fact
off
of
the old
life.
people that was
That's what I'm
that
saying.
were there.
I'm not saying like you necessarily attach people, bring a lot of people with you, because you can't manage it. It gets frustrating sometimes because the demand sometimes is high. Sometimes I feel
See,
like when you move with a certain set of people, you enjoy life in a special way, because there are ideas you give yourself, especially if you're trying to start a business, if you're trying to create a business. When you move with business owners or people of like minds, there are things you talk about that the other guys do not talk about.
That makes
So
sense.
in situations like that, the other ones might not
So-
actually
so
have a
you
lot
know
of
what?
ideas,
Toby,
but they might also
Toby,
still
you guys
be.
give
I'm
them-
not saying that, like, different stage in life requires different people, right? But my own is that you don't have to keep the same energy with these people you were with before, but don't just dry block everybody. That's my own opinion.
So-
you can still be with the same people you like that in your stage
The
of life.
example
You
you're
guys are in
giving-
the same, you guys are flowing ideas and all that, but don't scissors cut or block people that because they are not.
And that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me there are people that just block people like that. That's what I'm saying. So you're not giving me a strong. Your example is because let's say because you moved to Canada now, you just block people.
You've
in
not heard of
Nigeria.
people that are in Canada that box in Nigeria.
What I'm saying is, and that's why I say everyone tells the story and they are the actor in the story. There is context to that. You can't tell me someone just so you and someone were rapping, then you move to Canada this month, you block the person next month without.
No,
Sorry,
it won't
can
happen
you
that way.
comment
So
if you've
Wait,
not,
it's-
no,
it's
if you've
most-
known people that have done that?
Most times it doesn't happen that
If
way.
you
So
know people
give
that
me
have
an
done
example that
that,
warrants
please
the block.
comment down
Eventually,
below.
it happens.
How?
So
you
this
lose
is
track of you lose
this is-
communication.
Exactly, it
And
reduces.
Yes.
And the reason why it reduces is
It's
what
because
we now
you're-
talk about is different.
Yes, and you are 5 hours. You are 5 hours behind.
And most of the time, maybe someone in Nigeria might think, "Oh, you have a lot," and then they are bugging you. It's all about
Yeah,
the
because they're
needs
bugging
and
you, block them, yes.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a reason.
But the main reason
it's because they are bugging
is because,
you.
but it started from you moving to Canada.
No, it's because you are trying to make a living for yourself here, and someone thinks you are enjoying life and is bugging you for finances. That's a reason.
That's a different reason that me I'm saying.
But what's the bugging? What's the bugging you are talking of?
So I think not to drag this thing for so long. So now, in the case that you've burned a bridge,
Yeah,
do you ever think of going back to
No.
that bridge? Okay.
People don't think of it. You burn it and it's gone.
Even when you need the help and you know that this person is in charge of that help,
Why does it? Why? So my question is, how many times has that situation happened?
it doesn't happen so often.
But
So
it
what I'm
happens.
saying, I
So
in
But
a
it
case-
happens.
So don't give me an example on one extreme
but
case.
there
Give
will
me
be
a
times-
majority.
I'm just using this as an
And you
example.
move on, like it's born. It's the same thing like people.
So
have,
you don't think of reaching out? That's what I'm
people,
saying. Like,
people have been in relationships, right? And maybe an example you popularly see is people have been, a boy and a girl were going out, right? And maybe the boy cheated on her and he broke up, and finally she's maybe the head of HR in a company he applies to. She happens. She didn't give him the job because of that. Life moves on. That's it.
so in cases like
Like
that,
would
what-
your whole life be judged on that action? No,
So-
like
so-
he didn't get move on, go somewhere else. Like
so in cases like that, are you, because we're looking at self-love in it, so cases like that, are we saying that it's good to love myself above any other thing? Because of course I need to achieve what I need to achieve in life.
depending
So
on
where does it get toxic, or self-love can never get toxic?
everything gets toxic. Even if you drink too much water, it's
Oh
But
God.
they always preach
You know
that
what?
you
It's
drink
very
water.
interesting.
yeah. They always say drink water.
Micah's
but
mind is always
no.
different from our own.
No, I actually
So
I love the
Micah's
way
mind is always different
he
from our own
comes.
mind.
But anyways, I get his point. I totally get his point. And of
No,
course,
you guys haven't just given me a strong example for
No,
the
There's
I've-
never
I've-
a strong
I've-
example enough.
No,
Our
no.
example, Koni, he doesn't have enough body.
You know, I didn't even go to school to have more examples. You know. Most times they give us one example in school and they
Yeah,
give us
but
a
it
lot
has
of
to be-
assignments.
Yeah,
So
but those examples they even give in school are way harder than the classwork.
examples are harder.
The examples are
The
very
assi-
simple, but
Exactly.
the assignments are harder.
The assignments are harder. So the examples I'm giving to, they are very
Yeah, but they're
simple.
not-
They are basics
I don't know.
because of. But I think I get your point. So actually, just like you said, there are also points whereby it's toxic, and the main thing is
Everything has toxicity. to it, so-
just take your decision when you need to take
yeah,
it.
take it
but-
and stand by it. It's as simple as that.
Exactly,
Hold your ground.
and be careful too of some of your decisions.
Because
That's
if you
what I
burn
believe.
bridge, just burn it and not look back. And don't feel guilty, because that one will vex me if you're
Yeah,
going to feel guilty for burning bridges.
No, but there are
that
times I
that
still-
you just burn for your own
I still believe.
self-love.
I still
supposedly.
believe there are
So-
times you burn bridges and still go back anyways.
Yeah,
if
for
the
some
bridge is
people, like-
necessary.
You're even looking at it as the narrative you guys are pushing. It is the
Narrative.
person that burned the bridges always
You
goes
guys-
back. What about
Of
there's
course, it can
also
be
the
both
person
ways.
that-
So I'm not. trying
That
to-
so what about it's both ways? The example you guys have been giving is just one side of the person
No,
that
I
burnt.
tried to say
There's
it
also
now,
the
but
other
you said-
side.
You said the person moves on.
So
because I said it.
so you see the example of the guy and the girl. It can also be the other way. The guy is now at the top, the girl is at the bottom.
Do you still go back again? That's it. Like this person has been snubbing you, but I still feel like it's easier for someone who burnt that bridge to go back than the person that's the bridge. Yeah, the person that burnt the bridge.
No,
It's
the
easier-
person that the bridge
wait,
that
some
did not
people
burn
don't-
the
some people-
bridge.
Some people
Eh?
don't.
What I'm saying is, if
Another-
someone has been
Because-
snubbing you from the
Another
onset,
thing is-
they will still snub you when they get to that higher
Another
position.
thing is the assumption of burning the bridges, right? An example is, I'll say, it takes me a while to save people's number because if we don't have a conversation, there's no need for me to save your number. You know that.
But that
Like-
number might be useful because that happened
Yeah,
to
but
me
that's why you stay in the archive.
as per someone.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's why you stay in my
I
archive.
thought the
don't
person
delete-
wouldn't be that useful. I did not save the number. Eventually, I had to be looking.
I do that a lot of times. I don't say people. I'll not be looking at conversation or searching their
I
name.
even had to ask someone for the person's number because
And then,
my ego did not want to ask. Of course, I couldn't ask the person
Me,
again
it's
because
not
it has
because
passed that
of-
level.
But there's
I
nothing
will
wrong
just
with that.
forget.
There's nothing wrong with that. An
Are
example
you
is
sure?
if you speak to someone
Something
once in
wrong
6
with it
months,
though.
once in 6 months, right?
Does not mean you should not save their number. Still save. It's bad attitude. When something is bad, we should say something is bad. Don't
if
say
you,
that it's
if you don't
because of
speak to
someone's
someone,
opinion.
if you don't speak to someone
I still
once,
feel like you can delete the number eventually.
no,
if it's not needed.
I would. No, some people may say that is cut off, but you're just in my archive. There's nothing wrong with being in the archive.
There's something wrong when it can be saved. What's stopping you from saving the number? How
Why
many
should I
2
save the number?
seconds?
Because
Because they don't have the relationship.
the number is not bankable, so there's no point of me saving the number.
Anyways, I think it's
Please.
it's worth it. So, left to me, I still feel like there are some points whereby you have to love yourself, the self-love thing, because
I agree.
no one will do that for you. And
Love yourself. Oh.
intermittent enjoyment.
But
and
when
all
you're
that,
loving
but
yourself, also think about people. Does that make sense? Love yourself while thinking about people. I don't know whether that's classified.
when you're loving, what's the essence of
Sorry.
self-love if you're thinking about other people at that point?
Because there's a narrative of self-love being pushed. So I guess that's it.
Because you cannot live by yourself at the end of the day.
Actually, I think
That's my own
the
idea.
healthy self-love is that you still care about other people, but
That's the thing. Because you cannot still live by yourself
So
alone.
it shouldn't be said.
in
It
this
shouldn't
world.
be giving self-love then.
Eh?
I don't know. I give up.
Okay.
I don't
Thank
give
you.
up. My own
Give your options. Thank you.